Hello guys, PJ back again. Today working on a 2014 Citroen C3. I'm going to be showing you how to put a dash cam into this vehicle and how to wire it to the car's fuse box so that it goes on and off with the car's ignition. Now this is fully plug and play, so if your car's a lease vehicle or something like that, you won't affect the warranty in any way. It's very simple to do. However, you'll notice if you've looked at any of my other videos, I have covered the DS3 in the past, but the C3s can have the rather nice panoramic roof. So if we just pan up, yeah, you guys got all this glass, which is nice, but your rear view mirror's in the middle. Yeah, so you basically can't have your camera up at the rear view mirror. Your camera's going to end up having to be here in the middle. Now this goes pretty much against everything I've said in the past, because obviously it can be classed as an obstruction. Not ideal, but on this particular vehicle, unless you have a massive long dangly wire coming halfway down your window screen, you're not going to do it. So we're going to be putting the camera in the middle here. Obviously with that, the cabling is going to be running along the bottom of the dashboard and down this side. On this vehicle, your fuse box is located here, and it's behind this panel just here. You have to pop this off. We're going to use a plastic leverage device and just pull this off. It's behind this here. I'll show you how to do that in a minute. Ideal tools to get the job done are along the lines of this little lot. So we've got some cable snips, some long nose pliers. Now I actually use them to remove the fuses from the fuse box, because the car comes with a plastic tool, but the fuses are quite recessed, hard to get to. I just find it easier to do this. Plastic leverage tool, probably the most important part of your toolkit. Go and get one of these guys, eBay, Amazon, car shops, etc. They're literally like £1, £2 tops for a set of them. If you use a metal screwdriver on plastic trim, common sense, yes, it's going to dint the plastic trim. Yes, it's going to look a mess. We don't want that. We want it to look factory fitted. This is the ideal tool. It's strong enough to lever things off, but not going to leave dints in stuff. A multimeter, or one of those screwdriver test probe things where, in other words, the handle lights up when you touch a live circuit. So either will do. It doesn't have to be a multimeter. It can be a test probe. That's fine. If you're fitting, like I say, a specific brand of dash cam, or it comes with a mini USB power connection, you could do with one of these. A Dashcam Fitting Kit. Most brands are available: Blackview, Kenwood, Garmin, etc, etc. Nextbase come with a mini USB on the end, so they do actually fit a lot of different makes of cameras. Inside the box you will get a ferrite filter that basically goes around the power cable at the USB end near the camera. This is to suppress DAB radio interference. If you don't have radio interference, you shouldn't really have a problem, but that's what that's for. I'll show you how you fit that in a minute. A fuse spur. Now what this is basically a socket doubler. So your fuse box, basically you're going to be looking for an ignition switched live fuse on an accessory circuit. Once you've found that, which again I'll show you how to do shortly, when you remove the fuse, it goes here in this slot here. This fuse here is a 2 or a 3 amp. This runs the camera. The other fuse obviously running the original circuit, and then this shoves in where the fuse came from. Nice and simple. Like I say, plug and play, fully reversible should you sell the car or it's a lease car, etc. This is your power cable. Like I say, this particular one, mini USB, quite a common connection on these. Terminates in an earth that you put to a chassis bolt, and a power there. It's got a bayonet on the end of it. Bayonet obviously plugs into your fuse spur like so. So the next thing we're going to do is prepare the power cable. We're going to fit our ferrite filter. The ferrite filter is on a hinge with locks. So there's the hinge side. 2 plastic locks. You basically pop them open, which I can never do one-handed. So I'll pop that open, and we're going to wrap it around this end of the power cable. So here's the ferrite filter opened, and as you can see, I've literally wrapped the cable through it, underneath it, and back round and out the other side before we click it shut. Like so. That's all finished. We can now tuck our wire down the back of the dashboard here. So guys, here we go, that's where your camera's going to go. Ignore the secondary wire coming off it because that's actually a feed to a rear camera. Unfortunately, I don't have time to be able to show you how to fit the rear camera on this car, but I do have a generic rear camera fitment guide in the playlist, so obviously check that one out. Your wire is all the way down the back. Use your plastic leverage tool in your fingers just to, because it flexes, look. There's a lot of flex there. You shove your cabling right the way down. Helps if you get the kinks out of the cabling, so make it straight. Then use your leverage tool to sort of shove it under the plastic until you get to here. And then you're basically going to run it down the edge. Again, use your plastic leverage tool up, all the way down. And then we're going to open the door, pop the end panel off the dash. There we go. You may have to open your glove box lid just to pop the rest of them off, and this whole thing will come away. Revealing two 13mm bolts. You can use either of these for an earthing point, so remove whichever one you want. Here we have the bolt removed, and this is what I normally do for an earth. I normally pop a ring terminal on the end of it and then a washer behind it, just so it sits neatly back in there and is a good earth. Obviously you don't have to, you can use the little horseshoe that comes with it. They do have a tendency to snap though, so I always do it a little bit more beefy than that. Go ahead, pop your bolt back into the hole there, which I'm going to need 2 hands to do, and tighten it back up. Like so. And as you can see, there's your fuses buried right at the back there. Now we've popped the fuse box cover off. Right guys, last little bit now. We're going to get our multimeter, yeah, or your test probe, whichever. And we're going to test which fuse we're going to use for an auxiliary circuit. Now, I've done hundreds of these, and for this region, there's a 5 amp brown one just here that I'm touching. And I can get the connector. There we go, on top of the fuse there. Can you see that? This one. There, look, that brown 5 amp. Now I know that fuse to be ignition switched live on the UK spec cars at least. There we go. 0 voltage. When you turn the ignition on, that fuse becomes live. That's an auxiliary fuse, so we don't want to use anything for airbags, ABS, ECU, anything critical. Use an auxiliary fuse, okay? So now we've tested that fuse and we know it's live, because if you turn the ignition on, you'll show voltage on your multimeter, or your test probe will light up. With the ignition off, we're now going to pull that fuse out. There we go, if the camera will focus. I'm sure you get the gist. It's a fuse, and you can see why you use long nose pliers to get the damn things out, because the fuse box is in a rather stupid position. Okay, feed your power cable through from the side, so it pops out down here. Plug your bullet connector on. Oops, come here. And sorry about it being blurry, guys. It's about -6 degrees, so we've got problems with mist and frost. Let me just try and clear this up a minute. Okay, so there's our fuse spurt. It has the 5 amp was removed just here, and the 2 or 3 amp here to run the camera. You've now got to get your hand back in there and mount it this way. Okay, so plug it back in facing upwards. Handy tip, if you're struggling to get in there, what I always do is drop the lower pad down underneath. It's on one little plastic clip. Just drop it down, you can put your hand up and shove the cable in like so. Just there, look. Okay, now we test our camera. Moment of truth, pop the ignition on. There you go, little blue power light is on there. Just give me a minute, and on it goes. So that's the test done. Turn the ignition back off again. We know everything's good. We can now go and tidy the cabling up. So all we do basically is bunch it all up. You can either wrap it in a cable tie or some electrical tape, pop it behind where the fuse box is, so it's in an area that's not going to get trapped, and obviously relocate your side plastic trim. And there we go, guys. That is how you fit a dash cam in a C3. Any questions, pop them in the comments below, but please make sure if it's something simple where you can ask your retailer to do that. I am inundated with loads of questions every single day, and at the moment it's taking me 2 to 3, maybe 4 days to get back to everybody. The backlog is that big. So much appreciated. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye for now.